want to try it? Did you try some?
Yeah. Okay, we're eating dinner now. We just did the cube earlier. We did the cube. We found everybody in front of Starbucks in Dupont Circle. So I want to do a little interview here of people that were in the cube tonight. And Denise and I, this is the first time we've been with these guys. The first cube for Denise ever was tonight. And for me, I've done it a couple times. Let me flip the camera around. And I'm going to show you some people from. Is this the Silver Spring group? Is that officially what the what it is? But we're in DC now, right? We're in DC. So explain to us. We can go around like one at a time.
Okay.
What's going on with Anonymous with the Voiceless? Where you guys usually do this? What happens at the cubes? Like what happened tonight? Like maybe some of your like most memorable experiences, that kind of thing. Any of that stuff.
Yeah. So I would say that. So first of all, Anonymous with the Voiceless, they have these cubes of truth where we show footage to the public of what is actually hidden from us, purposely, because of course most people, if they saw what really goes on, they would not want to contribute to whatever they're purchasing, right?
Yeah.
And I would say that it's amazing because you get to feel like you're actually fulfilling some sort of purpose, like you're making change in the world. And when you have these sort of conversations, especially, or even just staying in a cube, for instance, where you're just holding the footage or a sign, you feel like you are actually contributing to hopefully the next generation of vegans in the world who are actually finally in alignment with what they truly value inside. And I think the most valuable thing I've gotten from the Cube of Truth is it has made me more of an open, more compassionate person, and it's actually sort of made me grow out my own shell, really.
Yeah, you said that you were like a really, really shy person.
Yeah, I used to be like really antisocial, and now it's like I'm totally comfortable with speaking to people. I mean, I'm speaking to very like closed-minded people, and they can be sort of frustrating sometimes. But most people, they're really receptive once they see the footage, because if you take footage in and of itself, it's pretty effective, and also having conversations is also pretty effective by itself. But when you combine both of them, it really truly makes for a great type of activism to where people can most likely finally make that connection. So that's why I would see why it's super effective. And
okay, cool.
Why it's such a huge benefit, really.
Yeah, and I saw you talking to some people tonight. Like, is there every time you do one of these, you remember the impact you have on people?
Yeah, for sure. Especially like today, I spoke to this vegetarian, and she was clearly for the ethics, right? She's seen the footage before, but sometimes she couldn't even look at the footage because it's just so saddening and just plain awful. And she's always wanted to go vegan, but after speaking to me and just seeing the footage for it again, she's even closer to finally making the decision. And she actually, in the end, she said that no, I'm gonna go vegan. This is the push that I needed.
Yeah.
So just that one conversation, just that one type of just someone coming across that type of activism, it makes all the difference in this world. And who knows? Maybe she's the next vegan activist. You never know.
Yeah. And where do you guys generally do all these Cube of Truths? You guys are Silver Spring?
Yeah,
chapter?
So we're the Silver Spring chapter. There's also over 500 chapters, I believe. No, close to 1,000, right? Close to 1,000 now.
More than 500,
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cube of Truth has two main components, and the first component is the cube itself. So it is one or two or a multiple of four people holding footage of what actually happens in animal agriculture, and we've actually distilled it down now to just showing what the standard practices are in the Western world, broadly defined. So, and that's just to facilitate the conversation, so it doesn't become like, oh, well, I'm from X country, we don't have that here. So for the most part, that addresses those concerns. And it helps people not be able to just write off easily like, oh, I only buy like humane raised, whatever. They all go to the same slaughterhouse at the end of the day. Very similar conditions, which is like just terrible and unfortunate. But so the first component is the cube itself. People are standing still, holding the signs, looking very like professional, so that when people walk by, they can actually engage with the footage. And the second component is the outreach, which is engaging with people who have stopped to take in the footage and are, exhibiting some behavior that they are showing that they're open to learning more and understanding why we're out there speaking up for the animals. So what we do is we try to lead them through a Socratic method conversation to help them understand how animal agriculture works, how it exploits animals, and really how easy it is to go vegan today, especially we're almost in 2020. There's so many amazing vegan options. We're sitting here at,
right here, right?
yeah, we're sitting here at Bear Burger. We walked probably by like 5 restaurants in the last 2 blocks to get here, and there were vegan options at all of those places. So
just make a better choice. That's all you have to do.
make a better choice. It's not just for, it's Anonymous for the Voiceless focuses on the animals, but of course we want humans to do it for social justice, human social justice reasons as well, because it's better for our health. And of course it's better for the environment, and just helping people come to all of those understandings, I think it has really actually helped us grow our own community here. Like, we have all here gotten to know each other over time. It's really starting from the cube.
Everybody here? You guys are all regulars?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I know at the end you held the speed the whole time, right? The entire... Yeah.
2.5 hours straight.
2.5 hours straight, yeah. Very good. And so you had a lot of people watching you during that time, watching the screen in front of you, I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you see all kinds of reactions, I guess, when people walk up to that screen.
It's kind of interesting just watching that. Some people come by, you see a lot of shock. It kind of goes over people's faces.
Right.
Sometimes.
Well, it's good. People need to see that stuff so they can make a different choice. And you're not having to, be deprived here.
No one had to suffer for this. That's the best thing about it.
That's right. Perfect. Yeah. Anybody else want to tell us about the vegan?
Yeah, I want to talk a bit about, we talked a lot about non-vegans and how important it is to go vegan, right? And how we teach non-vegans about animal ethics and animal agriculture, but I think the cube is also really important for vegans as well.
Right.
So until, 6 months ago, I was not active for the animals. I'd been a vegan for about 2 years, but I didn't spend any time doing activism, and now I'm organizing with Sarah. We're co-organizers of the Silver Screen Cube.
Okay.
And so I spent all of my time with vegans on the internet. I was like an online vegan, right? Like,
well, that's what it used to be not too long ago. If you had a vegan friend, they were like in another country or something. Right?
Exactly. But when I was introduced to activism, I suddenly was surrounded by this amazing vegan community, and you form these close bonds, and you have great interactions with each other, and you see each other on a weekly basis, and suddenly you're spending time with people who share your values and understand you in this way that a lot of people don't, because veganism is so important to us on a very deep philosophical level that you end up creating these really amazing friendships. So activism for me is not just a way to fight for the animals, but it's also a way for me to find a community and to spend time with people I care about. So.
Yeah, and it's growing too, right? I mean, it's easier to find this community now, but we can find you guys on Facebook. You have a Facebook group, right? That's what it is?
We do, yeah. We have a Facebook group.
AV Silver Spring, that's what it is?
Yes. And we're also working on developing a resource for people in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area who don't have access to Facebook to still keep track of activism events, because That Vegan Couple, actually, they're a YouTube
Yeah, I've
channel.
seen them. Yeah.
They're pretty big in the vegan activism world. They always say that going vegan is not the most you can do, it's the least you can do.
Right.
And that vegan activism should be the new moral baseline, right? That if you're vegan, we should always be active.
Yeah, and like this video here, like I told you guys, it's live, going across all kinds of social media, most of it in the DC area, but some of it beyond that. So you guys are hopefully impacting other people that aren't familiar with Anonymous with the Voiceless, and maybe they'll get on. And usually, if you're on Facebook, I've found it's usually like an AV and then the city, right? Mm-hmm. So that's how you find your local AV group, and then you plug in there, and then you can go to some events that the local groups are doing.
You can also just start from cubeoftruth.com, and you can search for your local chapter on there too.
Okay.
Or the chapter closest to you, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Anything else to let us know about? I don't know. Where do you guys? You're usually in Silver Spring, but we're in DC right today. but you guys
Yeah.
move all around the DC area, or what?
So we're a newer chapter. We started just a few months ago. And we've done all of our cubes so far in Silver Spring, Maryland, except for this one. This is our first branching out a bit into DC. And there's also a DC chapter as well that Erica Wilkinson. She leads that one. So she does a lot of cubes in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area, but mostly in DC. So we do them the White House in Georgetown through that group.
Usually weekly on Sundays.
Yeah, and then our cubes in Silver Spring usually happen bi-weekly on Saturdays near the Silver Spring Metro. But yeah, we're open to expanding to other areas. We just want to try to talk to as many people as possible and use this great tool that AV, Anonymous for the Voiceless, has created, because it's so impactful to have the footage there and have people talking with them, and it's really attractive, like the way the presentation is set up. It makes people feel interested in what we're talking about. They can really identify with the footage and interact with it in a way that is much different than I think any other type of activism.
Yeah, I think it definitely touches people, and it's not in a confrontational way, and it's in a way that I guess people aren't expecting to have this information put in front of them, because you guys are out in a public place and someone's just walking by, and then I guess you get a real genuine reaction because they weren't expecting it, and they need to consider these things in their lives, I think.
Because so many people wouldn't seek that out on their own, right? Nobody wants to watch animals being slaughtered.
Right.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
But you have to confront people.
Okay, well, keep up the good work and enjoy the rest of dinner. I gotta eat mine. I've been recording the whole time. Okay.
Bye.